Hello everybody, Steve Grippers here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In today's MTPredictor video, we'd like to have a look at a VS cell that's just unfolded on a 3-minute chart of the NQ. This follows on nicely from our previous video to show how we can use our time frame we're following in conjunction with the higher time frame or the DPs on the higher time frame chart. But as usual, we start with our risk disclaimer and remind you that all examples in these videos should be considered as hypothetical. No trades are actually taken, they're just shown for illustration and trading purposes only. Remind you there's a risk of loss in trading and investing. Put another way, all professional traders know and understand, but more importantly accept that losses can and will and do unfold. It doesn't matter what trading approach you take, there always will be losing trades. Right, so let's start with our 15-minute chart. This is a 15-minute chart of the NQ. I just want to use our training mode to jump back in time to back here somewhere and show you how we place our DPs on the chart in advance. This was the last swing pivot high. You can see the major high here. So I can right mouse click, do decision point. Can you see how it places a resistance level on the chart? But more importantly, that's on the chart in advance. It's there before the market gets there. It's preparing you in advance for a potential area where a reversal may, not will, but may unfold. So let's now turn training mode off. You can see what happened. The market went up to that level really nicely, made a high, then it started to back off quite significantly. So if we now go down to the 3-minute chart, which is the time frame we're looking to trade on, you can see there are a couple of sell setups in and around this high. The first one we have to look at is the high came in here. There was then an initial decline down, came up to make a history triangle. This shows you that there was an MTPredictor trade setup at the time, which was filled on the next bar, but then the market carried on up. So we can place the analysis on this to see what happened. So if we right mouse click over the red sell bar, do analysis, you can see that this would have given you a TS1 sell. It was also in the direction of a black MTP trend. This would have taken you into a short trade. It would then have stopped you out. This is important to understand because losses can and will and do unfold. It doesn't matter what trading approach you take, there always will be losing trades. But because we use position sizing, this case less than 2% on a sample $20,000 account, this loss would have been kept small at what we call 1R or 1 risk unit. We then got another sell setup. You can see came in a bit later on. This was a VS sell or volume spike sell. So we right mouse click again over the red sell bar, place the analysis on. At the first target here, the market went down to this target, took you into a short trade, went down to this target. At the first target, it was a nice profit of approximately 4.3R. But this is the important point. This profit was large in relation to the previous minus 1R loss. So this would have been a good trade. For you guys who are more experienced, what you could have done is rather than coming out at the first target here, you could have gone back to the 15-minute chart, and this is what we teach in our MTPredictor training webinars. You could have used the higher time frame chart to then place a DP on for a potential target. Again, I want to use our training mode to show you that when you were coming into this VSL up here, this was the last swing into the high. This would have been the pivot to take the DP off. So this would have given you a potential target down here on the higher time frame. And as you can see, the market has indeed reached this level and is probably going slightly below it at the moment in real-time data. So if we go back to the 3-minute chart, so what would this mean for your short trade off that VS sell at the high there? Well, rather than looking to come out at this target here, you'd have held the short trade, held it down into this higher time frame DP down here, and as you can see, that would have a massive increase in the potential profit. So rather than a profit of just over 4R, 4.5R, which would have been nice, that would have increased the profit up to 14.5 or nearly 15, 14.8R. So that would have been a very, very nice profit indeed. But again, can you see how we're trying to, at MTPredictor, not predict the future? That's impossible. Not have a high number of winning trades, percentage of winning trades, again, that's impossible over time. What we're looking to do is when we have losses, the losses are small, but when we have profits, we're looking to have profits that are large in relation to the losses. And this exactly is what this example is showing here. Remember, we believe that markets are random half the time, therefore you can't look to trade all the time. You're only looking to trade when the picture's clear. And this is why we place our DPs on the chart on the higher time frame. So what we're doing is we're looking to see whether the market is making a reversal at our projected level. In other words, is the market doing what we anticipate? If it is, then we deem the picture's clear, and then we can decide to take a trade setup on the shorter time frame. And as you can see, this is what the NQ did this morning, very nicely indeed, where we had one losing trade. Remember, losses can and will and do unfold. We then had another sell setup, a VS sell here. Again, this was at the higher time frame resistance zone, looking to run that into the higher time frame support zone, would have resulted in a nice trade of approximately 14 or just over 14.5 times the initial risk. So a very good result, and showing our VS sell in MTPredictor, as well as using our multi-time frames with our higher time frame DPs. This is our standalone version. We also have scripts for TradingView as well as add-ons for NinjaTrader 8, all of which will give you the same setups.